Ferdinand. Do you know Ferdinand? He works for the king, Crob, and he takes notes on everybody in the under. Oh, hello. Why are you crawling all over me? Oh, Olive, get over it. Anyway, sorry. All the Crobs have different personalities that you can really see when you get to know them, when you study their behavior. So when I met with Ferdinand, he and I decided that it was important for Crobs and people to have collaboration, and we can learn a lot from them, so I decided to start drama school called the Croblaboration Academy. So today we are going to learn acting from the Crobs. So I want everyone to pick a Crob to be their scene partner. That one has attached itself to you. And stand across from your Crob partner. If you don't, there's not an even number. You could. Oh, there's one over there. And stand across from them. Oh, you can be with that one. And observe their behavior. Let me grab this. I'll be with this one over here. Oh, don't hide. This is going to be fun. We are learning from you. Oh, hello. So we partner up with a Crob. Here, you can have this one, new friend. And yes, I've had them get bigger so we can be the same size as them. So now you can partner with this Crob. Just stand across from them and try to mimic all of their movements and behavior. See how they bounce?
Ooh, it's getting a little... You feeling that? A little...
They do a little, and then sometimes they raise up their claws and go like this and walk from side to side.
The way. Guess I'm supposed to be
And they
doing
hold
that
their
for you
heads
all, but
like this,
even I get a
and
little...
they bounce like this. Sometimes they
Yeah.
flip over, which I know might be harder for you to do.
Wait a sec.
Oh,
Who's up next?
all right, Shannon, I will flip you back over.
What?
This is Shannon.
Our next guest is a
She's very
satin-voiced
nice.
soothsayer,
She might be
sure
my
to
favorite.
commiserate and
And
liberate. And friends,
this
I've
one-
got goosebumps just thinking about saying his name.
If you want me to
Allow me
identify
to
them
introduce
for
you to the one,
Oh, this one
the only,
is
the
Sylvia.
undeniably very handsome Mr. Ronald Pete.
And this one is Hazel. This one is Frankie. Yes, it is very interesting because at first I did not think that the Crobs had names and personalities. I just saw them as these kind of non-sentient accessories to the sand. But they are actually very smart and they all have unique personalities. So we can learn a lot from them. So follow their movements. Notice how they move from side to side. And how they bounce when they move. Oftentimes, we as people are afraid to express ourselves fully through movement. We often stand very still and because we don't want to take up space. But the Crobs do not have that fear. They take up all the space they want. They love it when we make them big. And they move from side to side. Oftentimes we as people just move back and forth. We don't think about the other dimensions that we can use to move. And so they bounce and they move. They take up space. They are not afraid. They're brave. Snap your fingers like they clickety-clack their claws. Oh, this one is Jenny. Jenny is very friendly. You have a good partner there. A while ago, we did a production of Romeo and Juliet, but it was called Crobio and Juliet. So all of the Montague family was played by Crobs, and all of the Capulet family was played by time sprites and people. Who are you? Okay, that's Shannon again. I think it is a bit odd that I have to look at their butts to identify who they are. But it is an important part of their culture. I'm not saying that we should do that to each other. Look at how excited. They're not afraid to show their emotions. When they raise up their claws into the air, they stretch, and they move from side to side. Welcome to Crob acting class. Oh, very good, very good. I like that. Yes. We are learning the craft of acting from Crobs. And I see you've got your Crob mask, and so do you, so you're already ahead of the game. See, sometimes when they get really excited about something, they lift their claws up into the air and hold them there, and they snap and they snap and they snap. So why don't you give that a try while moving side to side? Because they don't move the same way we do. We usually move back and forth, or usually just forth. We never think about moving side to side because our bodies weren't built that way. The Crob's bodies were built to move in every direction. That's why they have so many legs. So we can learn from them. We can learn that we don't have to move in the way that we were taught to move. We can move in any way we want to. We can be free to take up as much space as we want in the world. And really get our whole body into the movement. Because you see, when they dig their claws in the sand like that, they're not only moving their claws. You know, sometimes when we reach to grab something or to do a gesture with our hands, we only move our hand and the rest of our body stays still. But when the Crobs reach to grab something, or dig in the sand, or snap their claws, they put their whole body into the movement.
This next
So they
act
go
is
like
something
this.
like that, only we're
Not just
thankfully
like
in
this.
no way related. He's just always been like that cousin to me.
Oh.
Give a tolerant under-welcome to Apple
Oh, great.
Pie
We have to
Bundy
listen to Apple Pie Bundy now.
and friends.
Oy. Well, I was hoping Apple Pie Bundy wouldn't interrupt our class. Apple Pie Bundy and I have a very complicated relationship. He's always interrupting me no matter what I'm doing. It is very annoying. Whenever I try to go on stage to do my 20 questions game show, he'll sneak in and start doing his act. And I say, Apple Pie Bundy, it is not your turn. I booked this time with the MC. Look at his books. And he will be like, I'm Apple Pie Bundy. That's not what he sounds like. That's my best impression of him. I can't do the American accent very well. So all of my American impressions end up just sounding like that. Anyway. Sorry, he made me lose my train of thought. I don't like to say that I have enemies, but if I had an enemy, it would be him. Like, every time he goes on stage, he leaves backstage a complete mess. He leaves eggshells all over the floor, and he won't clean up after himself. And he stinks. He smells so bad. Like, I did not know a person could smell so bad. Like, you think the Crobs smell, but he smells like 10 Crobs just cropped all over him. Anyway, let's think positive and not negative. Oh, that's a good idea. We can do a snail acting class too, but another time. The snails don't do as much as the Crobs. We learn movement from the Crobs, and we learn the power of stillness from the snails. We will do that next class. We will do snail class next time. So, everybody, something that's important in the theater is stage combat. So I'm going to give you each a sword. And the important thing to learn for the sword is to make it look like you are having a real fight, but not actually hurt anybody. Oh yes, make yours gold if you like. So, the great thing about Crobs is their shells are natural armor. You can poke with the sword and they won't get hurt, so they are great practice partners for sword fighting. So find a Crob and practice your sword fighting with them. They have their claws, so be careful that they don't snap you. See? It won't hurt them. You know, all of the great plays have good sword fighting scenes in them. Romeo and Juliet, everything. You know, even the Parent Trap starring Lindsay Lohan, that was a classic. And that has a good sword fighting scene. See? Look. Notice how the Crobs, they are very brave. They don't care that you're looking at them with a giant sword. They just want to keep bouncing and moving around. And so that's an intimidation tactic that you can use against your opponents. If you ever find yourself in a real fight, think like the Crobs think.
Have I mentioned I'm a vegetarian? Don't eat meat.
You
I don't
take up all the space you want, move around like crazy, snap
And
your
speaking of
fingers
onions,
like they
we've got
snap their
plenty of
claws,
fine fare available
and just
right
go
here
wild,
at the
bounce
outlet.
around. That will
While you're
confuse your
thinking about the next
enemies.
thing to stuff in your face
That will
hole,
confuse
our
them.
next esteemed guest is a
The
nutritious
confusion will intimidate them more than
your
any
hands together.
traditional
Our very
strength
own
or fighting
non-morale
skills can intimidate them.
Marky.
Duh. Alright, so yes. See that? She didn't even acknowledge that you're hitting her. She's just like, I'm digging. I'm going to keep digging. And I don't care that you are trying to fight with me. Because I know I'm going to win because I have my natural armor, the shell of the Crob. Stronger than any metal. Even gold. Alright. Well, I think we have learned a lot today from our Crob friends. So, let us face our scene partners again, find the Crob. You can share your Crob with another time sprite. And look them in their little Crob eyes, well, their big Crob eyes, and thank them for being a good partner and for letting you hit them with swords. Thank you, Crob friends. Oh, and welcome to new Crob friends. See, they know that we want to... They know we want to play with them, so they get on our level. They become big like us. So thank you for playing with us, Crob friends. Let us all aspire to be as mysterious. Look at the way their eyes glow when they carry something they like. That is the expression that we should have when we are on the stage and acting. When we, when something good happens to our character, we should have our eyes glowing back and forth like the Crob's eyes do when they are carrying an object that they like. We should let our feelings show through our facial expressions and our body expressions, just like the Crobs do. They wear their feelings on their sleeves. They don't really have sleeves because they're not wearing clothes. But they let their feelings show through their movements and their facial expressions. And if they don't have complete faces, they just have the eyes that glow, just like you have your masks. You can express yourselves even with the masks on by moving your head around in certain directions. It shows different emotions. Test it out. Yes, da. We can learn a lot from the Crobs. It will teach us to be good actors and good people, good scene partners. The most important thing of acting is to make your scene partner look good. And the Crobs are great at doing that because they know how to improvise. See, look at those glowing eyes with her sword that she's holding. We can all take an example from them. So let's thank our Crobs. Thank you, Crobs. Thank you for teaching us how to be a more open and free actor. And perhaps soon we will do another play with the Crobs co-starring with us. That would be fun. I love the Crobs. You know, earlier today I was over here and there were no Crobs. How strange is that? I hope the Crobs are okay. Look at the way that their eyes communicate how excited they are to have their swords. We need to be able to communicate that sense of excitement without saying a word, just like the Crobs do. Beautiful. Alright, well, I think that is plenty of learning for today. I will see you next time. We can do snail class with the Crobs as well. We can learn stillness and slowness, just like we learned speed and... What is that? What is that? I've never seen that before. Where did you get this? Did this come from the snail? Did the snail make this? It was in the sand? You just got it out of the sand? That is so strange. Well, I've got to go. Well, anyway, we will figure out that mystery later. I've got to go eat some more soup. I was making some soup with my sister, and the recipe absolutely failed. We were trying a new recipe that had apples instead of onions, and it turned out gross. So I had to redo it, but I wanted to make sure that I taught you some class before that. Oh, let me look at the ingredients on this. Okay, you know, I'll try tomatoes this time. Thank you. Alright, I will see you guys later. We'll do a snail class next time, perhaps. And goodbye, Buster the dog. I will see you later. Have a good night, and practice with the Crobs. Whenever you're, you know, walking around and not doing anything, and nobody's here to entertain you, just observe the Crobs and see what you notice. And what is that thing? Where do you just found it here? Huh. Well, anyway. I will see you later. Oh, and the dog is running off with the soup. Alright, I'm going to, I'm gonna go clean my dressing room too, because I know that Apple Pie Bundy, who knows what he left over there. It's disgusting. Bye, everyone.